Lost in Time, a glimpse into 2150's secrets. In the bustling metropolis of New London, nestled amidst gleaming skyscrapers and bustling streets, Dr. Emily Thompson stood in her laboratory, surrounded by a flurry of activity. She was a woman of remarkable intellect and boundless curiosity, dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. For years, Dr. Thompson had been working on a project that promised to revolutionize the course of human history, the temporal displacement device, TDD. It was a marvel of modern science, a machine capable of manipulating time itself. With the TDD, humanity could unlock the secrets of the past and shape the future according to their desires. After countless sleepless nights and tireless experimentation, Dr. Thompson finally completed the prototype of the TDD. As she stood before the shimmering vortex generated by the device, her heart raced with anticipation. The moment of truth had arrived. With trembling hands, Dr. Thompson activated the TDD, and a swirling portal materialized before her eyes. It was a gateway to the unknown, a doorway to other eras and dimensions. The possibilities were endless, and Dr. Thompson could hardly contain her excitement. Despite the risks involved, Dr. Thompson knew that she had to be the first to test the TDD. She had devoted her life to this project, and she was determined to see it through to the end. With a deep breath, she stepped into the swirling vortex, feeling a rush of exhilaration as she was engulfed by its energy. When she emerged on the other side, Dr. Thompson found herself in a world unlike any she had ever seen before. She stood in the midst of a lush forest, surrounded by towering trees and the sounds of wildlife. The air was thick with humidity, and the sunlight filtered through the dense canopy above. As Dr. Thompson took in her surroundings, she felt a sense of awe and wonder wash over her. This was a world untouched by human hands, a pristine wilderness teeming with life. It was a stark contrast to the urban sprawl of New London, and Dr. Thompson couldn't help but be captivated by its beauty. However, her reverie was soon interrupted by a realization that sent a shiver down her spine. The technology in her suit was malfunctioning, and her communication devices were dead. Panic surged through Dr. Thompson as she frantically tried to troubleshoot the issues, but to no avail. She was stranded in an unknown time period, with no way to contact her colleagues or return home. For days, Dr. Thompson wandered through the forest, desperately searching for a way to survive. She scavenged for food and water, relying on her scientific knowledge to adapt to the primitive conditions. But as time passed, her hope began to wane. How could she ever find her way back home? Despite the odds stacked against her, Dr. Thompson refused to give up. She was a woman of resilience and determination, and she was determined to find a way to return to her own time. With each passing day, she pushed herself to the limit, driven by a single-minded desire to unravel the mysteries of the TDD and unlock the secrets of time itself. Little did Dr. Thompson know that her journey was far from over, and that the greatest challenges still lay ahead. But as she gazed up at the endless expanse of the forest canopy, she knew that she would stop at nothing to find her way back home. For in the depths of the unknown, she would discover the true extent of her strength and courage. Days turned into weeks as Dr. Emily Thompson struggled to survive in the unforgiving wilderness of the unknown time period she found herself trapped in. The lush forest that initially seemed so beautiful now posed numerous threats, from dangerous wildlife to harsh environmental conditions. Yet, Dr. Thompson refused to succumb to despair, drawing upon her scientific knowledge and unwavering determination to persevere. Scavenging for food and water became her daily routine as she navigated through the dense undergrowth, careful to avoid potential dangers lurking in the shadows. She relied on her keen observational skills to identify edible plants and sources of fresh water, testing each discovery cautiously before consuming it. It was a painstaking process fraught with uncertainty, but Dr. Thompson refused to let fear dictate her actions. As she adapted to the primitive conditions of her surroundings, Dr. Thompson found herself marveling at the intricacies of nature. She studied the behavior of the indigenous wildlife, learning to recognize patterns and anticipate their movements. She marveled at the delicate balance of the ecosystem, where every creature played a vital role in the intricate web of life. Despite her efforts to maintain a sense of optimism, Dr. Thompson couldn't shake the nagging feeling of isolation that gnawed at her soul. The absence of human contact weighed heavily on her, a constant reminder of the world she had left behind. She longed for the familiar comforts of home, yearning for the company of her colleagues and loved ones. One day, while exploring the forest in search of food, Dr. Thompson stumbled upon a hidden cave nestled amidst the rugged terrain. Intrigued, she cautiously ventured inside, her footsteps echoing against the damp walls. As her eyes adjusted to the dim light, she found herself confronted with a sight that took her breath away. Adorning the walls of the cave were ancient cave paintings, their vibrant colors depicting scenes of a bygone era. Dr. Thompson approached the paintings with a mixture of awe and curiosity, her fingers trailing along their rough surface as she studied each intricate detail. It was as if she had stumbled upon a portal to the past, a window into the lives of those who had come before her. For hours, Dr. Thompson immersed herself in the study of the cave paintings, captivated by the stories they told. She marveled at the primitive artistry of the ancient civilizations that had once inhabited this land, their legacy preserved for future generations to discover. It was a humbling reminder of the rich tapestry of human history, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. But amidst the beauty of the cave paintings, Dr. Thompson's keen scientific mind detected something else, a hidden chamber concealed behind a crumbling wall. With trembling hands, she carefully removed the debris, revealing a secret compartment hidden from view. Inside, she found something that sent a surge of excitement coursing through her veins, a primitive version of the temporal displacement device. It was crude compared to her own invention, little more than a collection of primitive mechanisms and crude wiring. Yet, as Dr. Thompson examined the device more closely, she realized that it held the key to her salvation. If she could repair it, she might have a chance of returning to her own time. With renewed determination, Dr. Thompson set to work, using her scientific expertise to decipher the inner workings of the ancient device. It was a daunting task, fraught with challenges and obstacles at every turn. Yet she refused to be deterred, driven by a single-minded determination to succeed. As days turned into weeks, Dr. Thompson worked tirelessly to repair the ancient TDD, drawing upon every ounce of her intellect and ingenuity. She scoured the forest for the necessary materials, improvising solutions with the limited resources at her disposal. It was a race against time, with each passing day bringing her one step closer to her goal. Finally, after weeks of tireless effort, Dr. Thompson succeeded in repairing the ancient TDD. With trembling hands, she activated the device, a sense of anticipation coursing through her veins. As the familiar vortex materialized before her, she knew that her moment of reckoning had arrived. But as she prepared to embark on her journey back to her own time, Dr. Thompson couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered in the pit of her stomach. What awaited her on the other side? Would she be able to find her way back home, or would she be lost to the depths of time forever? With a deep breath, Dr. Thompson stepped into the swirling vortex, her heart pounding in her chest. As she was engulfed by its energy, she braced herself for whatever lay ahead, knowing that her journey was far from over. For in the depths of the unknown, she would discover the true extent of her strength and resilience. As Dr. Emily Thompson emerged from the swirling vortex, she found herself engulfed in blinding light. Disoriented, she stumbled forward, her senses overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the energy surrounding her. For a moment, she feared that she had been lost to the depths of time forever, condemned to wander the endless expanse of the cosmos for all eternity. But as the light began to fade, Dr. Thompson found herself standing in the familiar confines of her laboratory in New London. The air was filled with the familiar hum of machinery, and the soft glow of fluorescent lights bathed the room in an otherworldly glow. Tears of relief and joy filled her eyes as she realized that she had made it home. Yet, as Dr. Thompson looked around the laboratory, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease that gnawed at her soul. Everything seemed eerily quiet, as if the world outside had come to a standstill. Where were her colleagues? And why was the laboratory deserted? With a sinking feeling in her heart, Dr. Thompson made her way to the control panel of the TDD, her hands trembling as she initiated the diagnostic sequence. As the results flashed across the screen, Her worst fears were confirmed. The TDD had malfunctioned during her journey, causing a temporal anomaly that had sent her hurtling through time and space. Panic surged through Dr. Thompson as she realized the gravity of the situation. She was no longer in her own time, but an alternate reality where the fabric of time itself had been distorted beyond recognition. How could she ever hope to find her way back to her own timeline? Determined to find answers, Doctor, Thompson set to work, scouring the laboratory for clues that might shed light on her predicament. She combed through mountains of data, analyzing every piece of information with painstaking precision. Yet, no matter how hard she searched, the answers remained elusive. It was during one of her late-night research sessions that Dr. Thompson made a startling discovery: a series of encrypted files hidden deep within the laboratory's mainframe. With trembling hands, she decrypted the files, revealing a wealth of information that sent a chill down her spine. The files detailed a top-secret government project known as Operation Chronos, a covert experiment designed to harness the power of time travel for military purposes. Dr. Thompson's TDD was just one small piece of the puzzle, a prototype designed to test the feasibility of manipulating time itself. But as the project progressed, it became clear that the consequences of meddling with the fabric of time were far more dire than anyone could have imagined. Temporal anomalies began to appear with increasing frequency, threatening to tear reality apart at the seams. In a desperate bid to contain the chaos, the government had initiated a full-scale evacuation of the affected areas, leaving behind a ghost town in its wake. As Dr. Thompson digested the shocking revelations, a sense of anger and betrayal welled up inside her. How could the government be so reckless, toying with forces beyond their control in the name of scientific progress? And what had become of the people who had once inhabited this world, displaced by the very technology they had helped to create? Determined to uncover the truth, Dr. Thompson embarked on a perilous journey through the abandoned streets of New London, her footsteps echoing against the empty buildings as she searched for signs of life. But as she wandered through the desolate landscape, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, as if unseen eyes were following her every move. It was during one of her excursions that Dr. Thompson stumbled upon a hidden underground bunker, its entrance concealed beneath a pile of rubble. Intrigued, she cautiously descended into the depths below, her flashlight casting eerie shadows against the damp walls. As she explored the labyrinthine corridors of the bunker, Dr. Thompson came across a series of makeshift laboratories, their equipment still humming with faint traces of power. It was clear that this was where the government had conducted their experiments, where the seeds of chaos had been sown. But as Dr. Thompson delved deeper into the bowels of the bunker, she uncovered something that sent a chill down her spine: a chamber filled with rows upon rows of cryogenic pods, their occupants suspended in a state of deep hibernation. It was a chilling sight, a stark reminder of the human cost of the government's folly. With a sinking feeling in her heart, Dr. Thompson realized the true extent of the government's betrayal. They had sacrificed innocent lives in their quest for power, condemning them to an eternity of darkness in the name of scientific progress. And now she was left to pick up the pieces, to unravel the mysteries of the past and set things right. Armed with newfound resolve, Dr. Thompson vowed to do whatever it took to set things right, to restore balance to the fractured timeline, and ensure that the mistakes of the past were never repeated. For in the depths of the unknown, she had discovered the true extent of her strength and courage, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim her rightful place in the annals of history.